So I've been working on a home automation project that actually started off as just wanting a garage door opener that I could control from my phone, purely because I was short a universal garage door opener. We didn't have an extra remote, and I had gotten locked out by forgetting my remote, and I was thinking it'd be an easy thing to implement. I've seen them in the hardware store. They're not expensive, but they're not cheap. You can get a retrofit kit that's I think 45, $50, and you can get a whole garage door motor unit that comes with this kind of system embedded. So that's something I had thought about, and it led to really wanting to do a home automation project. Kind of just a natural progression, curiosity, and time and money permitting. I just wanted to pursue some goals for this project, and I decided to document the process just because it is going to be a long process. I didn't plan this rigorously. I didn't set out to develop everything at once, and I keep adding features and changing things and implementing things, and I just thought I'd document the progression as I go. I've got a good foundation going, with some software started, an Android app in development, and I'll get into that, but it's going to keep evolving. So I just wanted to chronicle that. So to start off, I thought I would just go over really quickly touch on some of the goals that I have decided I want to implement, some stuff that I've looked into doing or started, and some of this is already actually done. So like I said, the garage was the first thing I wanted to do. Controlling it, that's kind of a given. Status alerts if it opens when I'm not expecting it to is something I would be interested in. I have tools and stuff out there and cars, I'd like to know if the garage opens when we're not here. Another cool thought, I had a friend come from out of town and he wasn't able to get into our house. I had to leave a key under the mat, which I don't like doing. And something I could do is text him a link to click when he gets here to open our garage. And you could do one-time use links and stuff like that. If it's somebody, I don't know, whatever. It's just an idea that I'm planning to implement because I think that'd be cool to be able to do. And on a similar note, I'd like to do a front door lock too. I just need to figure out how I want to actuate it, but for now, garage. I have surveillance cameras around the house, so I have, widely used, software that's just publicly available. There's a bunch of different freeware and some really good. I use iSpy as a really good just freeware utility to control security cameras and monitor them and stuff like that. But I thought about I'd rather implement my own, just because I learned a lot through that process. I learned a lot about how IP cameras work, which is really interesting to me. I learned a lot about the protocols that are pretty common and how they work over the network and the plug and play and things like that they use. So security camera monitoring is something I wanted to implement, and then camera alerts, something those software products offer is motion detection, things like that. And I was curious how that's implemented, and I wrote my own implementation in Java, and then I'll get into that, but that's something I wanted to do. Those were the two big ones, and then as I started working on this, I started realizing the other types of things that are relatively easy to implement with microcontrollers and a web service. That's kind of the core of this whole thing, is a web service that I developed that lets you hook up any device that's capable of HTTP communication. So cell phones and computers are the two main clients, but the actuators, sensors, inputs, things like that. Just a multitude of microcontrollers, Raspberry Pi. I got really into using these Wi-Fi chips, ESP8266. They're about $5, and they're super powerful. They have a digital input-output, different breakout boards. They're Wi-Fi serial transceiver. It works great with the Arduino. I've been making bare bones, just chip on a breadboard Arduinos to use with the ESP8266. So a lot of these clients, and I'll get more into that, but a lot of these clients are easy to implement for extremely cheap, like the lighting and the garage opener. I mean, the most expensive part of the garage door opener was a universal garage remote. The actual web connecting stuff was, under $10. So that's pretty cool. But I decided to do lighting. I thought that'd be cool, mostly because when we're out of town, I can write a schedule. I can develop, I'm going to make an interface for it and stuff, but make a way to schedule the lighting so it can turn on and off automatically and stuff like that. And then also, just be able to not have to get off the couch, turn on the ceiling fan, turn on the light, stuff like that. And then another thought that I had is kind of gimmicky, but I think it would be kind of fun, is our living room is kind of the focus for where I'm starting with the lighting and this home theater control stuff. I thought it'd be cool to do a one-touch button that turns down the lights, turns on some ambient lighting, and switches the home theater to the right input to watch movies, and turns up the sound and things like that. So that's something I want to implement. And I already just touched on this, but home theater control, I want to be able to do volume and lighting in the inputs, AV sources, stuff like that from a Android app is going to be the focus for a lot of that. We have a Nest thermostat, which is already great, already offers a really awesome app and web interface, and I really love the Nest, but they offer a great API to make custom apps for Nest, so that's something I want to do at some point, is control the Nest, and that leads into this goal I have of centralized control for all this. So the web service is running on my home server, and I have it exposed to the web through a encrypted and authenticated connection. And locally, it's not secured, but save our Wi-Fi password. But I want to do centralized control that's not necessarily what it's running on or the heart of the operation, but an interface that's common that everybody in the house can use. I plan to use Raspberry Pi because I'm writing a Java desktop client, and then that can control all of this, interact with everything, and then I would like the Raspberry Pi to be able to run that, and they sell a great touchscreen interface for it that comes with a bezel. I mean, it's perfect for mounting in the drywall. So I plan to mount that in the wall and just have a nice little compact touchscreen interface that'll let us do our thermostat, our lighting, security cameras, all that stuff in one spot. The other thing I always have with me is my cell phone. I'm pretty addicted to carrying around my phone. I love the technology. I love everything it can do. So that's going to be another main focus for a control interface, is going to be a cell phone. And then I thought it'd be cool if we could do remote control, like a web interface, something I can log into to control it, which is going to be really easy to implement. And then control via email or SMS text message, I thought would be cool. If I, for some reason, don't have data service or something like that, I'd be able to send a text message and actuate something or do something at the house. I just, from vacation or from away or whatever, something like that. So those are my main goals that have come. This, like I said, I didn't plan this rigorously. These are probably going to evolve. I might drop some of these, might change some of them. That's kind of the point of this project. I'm just exploring. I've learned a lot about a bunch of different technologies, so not trying to be strict on what I'm planning and develop a workflow and stuff like that. So I do have a web service that I have talked about in my channel and other videos, and I have on my website, but I've really polished it up for this, and I think this is going to be ideal. I have a couple other projects that are going to use an extremely similar server like this, so I put a lot of time into developing this, and I don't foresee it changing a lot. There'd be little minor things, but this is the basic structure. It's super unofficial. These aren't classes. I know it's like a UML diagram, but I just wanted to draw up a quick diagram of the server. So I have the web service. It's running on a PHP. It's PHP scripts running on an Apache server. And there's scripts to send and receive commands that are structured in a way that any device that can do a GET or POST request can send a command. And all you need is the device's alias. So for instance, garage door Arduino, garage Arduino, that'll be its alias, and that'd be how the other devices call upon it to send it a command. And that's what the receiver class listens for, those incoming commands, and forwards them along through the sender class to the targeted device. It uses a database, MySQL database, to store all the commands, and it works a lot like Nest's. They have like a JSON document that's updated, and devices are subscribed to that. So whenever it changes across the board for all the devices. That's kind of how this is going to work. All the devices are subscribed to their commands in the command table, and whenever they change, they're updated with the new command. So that works for data too. If there's something like current temperature or a system state, like a door is open or closed, like the garage door is open or closed, system state, things like that, and then those are you can monitor those for change. The clients can connect through the web, through local network. For the Android client specifically, I wrote in code, which I'll go over, but it can identify if you're on your home network or if you're remote, and uses different communication protocols to talk to the web service. The heart of this whole system is the web service. That kind of runs everything, and it's important, but it's hard to ignore all the clients, which is really cool. I've had a lot of fun learning about these microcontrollers and these Wi-Fi modules. So great little circuits that are really simple to implement for really cheap. That's my favorite part about this. I think a lot of people could do this, could replicate some of this stuff pretty easily. I also have like the surveillance cameras in the Nest connected. I don't know why it's connected to the database. I need to fix my diagram here, but yeah. And so this is just a basic overview. And one other feature of this that I think is important is this is all on my Wi-Fi network, so this is all dynamic IP address. So this has it's in this database as alias and IP lookup. As these devices connect to the network, they register their IP address with the web service, and then that IP address is saved with their alias. So they say, hey, I'm the cell phone client. Here's my IP address. That's saved in an IP lookup. So whenever this device calls that device by its alias, this gets the IP address from the IP lookup, and everything stays interconnected that way. So that was a brief overview, and then I think I'm going to go through the software that I've written so far, and then talk about some of the clients, and then as this keeps evolving, I'll just post some update videos. I hope somebody finds this interesting, and if you want to try to replicate it or get the code, I'm probably going to put everything in a repository that'll be public, and yeah, you can try to do something similar.